Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
One hand riding and it starts shaking a little bit.
What's up guys, Jimmy Chang here with Andrew. In today's video we have the KBO Ranger. It's a budget cargo electric bike. It's super practical and it's actually kind of fun.
It's a class 2 e-bike, so it should go up to 20 miles per hour in throttle and pedal assist. It's got a 48 volt system, 17.5 amp hour battery, so 840 watt hours. They say an estimated range of about 60 miles, but I would say more about 30 to 40.
Cargo bikes, which have been around for a long time, now that they're electrified, makes them a lot easier to use when moving around small children, produce, packages, delivering goods. Let's do a walkthrough from top to bottom.
Yeah, let's start out with this cockpit up here. Faux leather grips, Tektro mechanical disc brakes, little bell on the left to control the display. Display that we see on a lot of e-bikes. A 7-speed Shimano thumb shifter with another Tektro mechanical brake lever with a half twist throttle. I do like a twist throttle on this type of bike, especially for a cargo e-bike. If you're carrying passengers, you want to have your hands on the handlebar grips at all times. They sent us this rack here, but it is in 2 pieces. You can just buy the regular tie-down rack, or you can also buy this additional bucket to hold more goods. Moving down the forks, we don't have any suspension. We do have plastic fenders. We have a 20 by 3 inch CST street tire with the 180 millimeter brake disc and Tektro mechanical disc brakes. An adjustable saddle. The battery stored in the bottom here. It doesn't come with this fence, but it does come with this big, large rear rack and the running boards.
Just to be clear, there are 3 add-ons to this bike that do not come stock.
So number 1 would be a front rack. Number 2 would be this front basket. And number 3 would be this fence. Everything else is stock.
The fence is just good for securing kids. You can still stick kids on here without a fence, but this just helps prevent them from falling off.
So we took out one side of the fence here so that larger passengers can get in and out easier.
So in the rear, we have this brake light. It's more of a reflector with a little LED in there. It does flash when you go to brake.
So you're braking, right?
Yep, exactly. You have another plastic fender back here. This kickstand's pretty nifty. It's a stand-up kickstand. As you can see, the rear floats off of the ground. It's really stable.
What I've discovered is when I'm loading goods into the back or children, it's nice to have that kickstand because it doesn't feel like the bike's leaning or like it's gonna fall over. Once everything's loaded, I can easily get on the bike and then just scooch it forward and then it's good to go.
Right here we have the Shimano Altis derailleur with the 750 watt continuous motor. This light in the front typically mounts up here, but when you have this rack on here, they give you a mount to the basket. It's not very bright, but it does have a decent spread on there. We have a 170 millimeter forged alloy crank, which does have some pretty decent gearing. It is a cadence sensor, so you are gonna see a little bit of a delay when you go to pedal. It weighs 77 pounds without all the extra gear on here. I'd say with the rack and the fence, we're probably looking at about 82 pounds. It's really easy to remove the battery. Just pop it off, pull off the lever, and it should pop right out. It's just a little bit snug. This is an LG battery, so I do like that they use high quality battery cells. To pop it in, I'm gonna drop in the rear first, and then just pop it right out.
All the kids are in school, so we're gonna load it up with the things that I love just as much as my kids, my PEVs.
So what's nice is there's tons of places to mount these bungee cords.
All right, so we got it all set up. And now we're gonna get our safety gear on and go for a ride so we can tell you what we love about it, what we hate about it, and who we think should get this e-bike.
EUC fell over.
Well, we're gonna see if this lower position on the EUC will help keep it stable.
The weight will be a little bit off, but let's give that a try. You can throttle to start, right?
If you're delivering packages, not all your packages are gonna be completely symmetric and even weighted. And so,
You know, as long as it's strapped in there secure, it's up to the rider to keep the balance.
I'll be right.
okay, so we've been out with the PEV Cargo in this PEV Cargo bike. Let's talk about the things that we love about this bike.
It's pretty quick for being a class 2 e-bike. Ramps up speed well, handles the hills decently with all this load on here. I wasn't having any issues going up a steep hill at all. I do love that you can add all sorts of different things to this. You can choose a different front rack, you can choose a different rear rack, carry children on it.
As a family guy, I like the fact that in the back I can put a kid, maybe even 2 kids. I've got 2 small nieces that we watch every week, and it's so fun. Just put them in the back, be able to ride to the park and have some fun. Size-wise, this is a little bit smaller than the Rad Wagon, and so if you don't need all that size that comes with the Rad Wagon, then check out this KBO Ranger.
If you have kids that are old enough to hold on to you, you can just go ahead and throw them on the rear rack, and you don't need to buy the extra fence. So it does come ready and equipped to carry passengers.
This cage design to keep children and passengers' feet from getting kind of stuck inside the moving parts in the rear. And that's as opposed to the Ride One Up Cafe Cruiser, which actually had a plastic shield. The other thing that it doubles as, it gives you plenty of places to hook on latches or bungee cords.
This kickstand's really nice. I much prefer this type of kickstand for a cargo e-bike.
This is a big, heavy bike, not super nimble. I do like that they've put a handle in the back of the seat, something for you to grab onto so you can move. We're gonna keep riding. At our next stop, we're gonna talk about the things that this bike can improve on.
They're mechanical disc brakes, and if you're hauling up to 400 pounds, it really should be hydraulic disc brakes. With the bike and all this gear in here, and me, we're pushing about 450 pounds, so I'm pretty impressed with how quickly this motor is responding to me pedaling.
What are you doing back there?
Nothing.
It takes a little bit getting used to when you've got a bigger load back there, just finding the right balance, but once you get going, it feels pretty smooth.
So what's your issue with this back seat?
It's not comfortable. It's flat and there's no cushion.
No cushion.
No suspension. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't see.
You can't see.
I'm too short.
Okay, so we went back home. We ditched the one wheel and the EUC so that we could be a little bit more light, a little bit more nimble, and we're gonna go pick up some lunch for us and the family. My boys and their friends, they ride these bikes hard. And this bike in particular, they noted that they were able to get it to wobble.
Keep wobbling, keep wobbling. Dude, what is wrong? What is wrong with that?
Oh, do you see that? Is it just wobbling a little bit?
Oh, there it is, there it goes.
It's coming out of the front when you're one-handed.
So we're not quite sure what caused that, but if anyone out there knows what may have caused that wobbling, let us know in the comments down below. When we had it fully loaded with all the PEVs, we didn't have any wobbling, but now we are getting that wobble feeling. All right, no bike is perfect. We're gonna go over the things that we don't like about this bike.
My biggest gripe with this is that it comes with mechanical disc brakes. It should come with hydraulic disc brakes if you're hauling people.
For me, we showed the bike shaking when Andrew was doing one-handed riding and no-handed riding.
So that's just key. If you have two hands on it, you're never gonna have that issue. But if you go to one-hand riding,
maybe it's just in our unit. We're gonna contact KBO and see if they have a fix for us.
KBO has some nice resources on their website that were mildly helpful for my problem, so I did some digging and found that all bikes can get speed wobbles, including this Rad Wagon by Rad Powered Bikes.
Alright, so the speed wobble happens even with the motor off. There's no hands.
From my research, it looks like weight distribution or the steering assembly could be the cause. As far as weight distribution, for us the wobbles only happen when there is little to no cargo and when the rider is riding one-handed, no-handed, or with very little weight on the handlebars. Keeping weight on the handlebars, we had no issues. We were able to eliminate the problem on our bike by making sure that the front wheel is on correctly, handlebars straight, tightening the stem, top cap bolt, and pinch bolts, and finally inflating the tires to over the max PSI. This worked for us. If your wobbles persist, try taking your bike to a local bike shop for a tune-up. That should do the trick.
yeah, and this cable management is just awful. I would have liked a little bit better cable management.
This fence, it seems like it's a little expensive for what you're getting. What, $190?
Yeah, $190 for 2 metal triangles and 2 metal poles right here. So one last thing is the lights are not bright on this. The tail light is just 1 LED. The front light is 2 LEDs and it's not that bright. So I would have appreciated brighter lights.
Especially since this is going to be used in an urban setting, delivering things, transporting things, and you want to be seen by traffic. If you're on a budget and you're looking for a good cargo e-bike, then consider this. It's not perfect, so make sure to check out our full written review at ebikepedia.com. Thanks for watching, and when you guys ride, wear your safety gear.